as well soon. First, though, we need to mark the fact today is the end of what's been a very busy week back at school, particularly for our secondary schools. They, of course, have been carrying out mass COVID-19 testing of pupils, and I'm keen to hear, well, how it's gone, having welcomed the first students back again on Monday. Todd Johnson is principal of Skegness Academy. It's got 1,000 pupils. Morning, Mr. Johnson. How's it been this week, then?
Morning, Sean. It's been absolutely great. It's been so good to see the students back on site and them ready to reconnect with the learning, and the need for us to run the lateral flow testing has obviously, I say it's a need, but it's been incredibly smooth, and the students have been receptive to it. And it's not really interrupted learning at all. So they've been able to come out for their test, and a very, very slick process, and get them straight back into the classroom.
Have you been surprised how smoothly it's all gone? Because, a few weeks ago, I think a few people were scratching their heads saying, how on earth are we going to manage to do that and keep on top of lessons and get them all in and keep them safe? The fact it's gone smoothly, I mean, that's great news.
Oh, it is, absolutely. What helped was that we were able to actually start testing last week. Initially, the date was given of the 8th of March that testing would start, but actually that guidance was then revised to say we could get students onto site last to begin the testing, which has helped us no end. So as our students have had their sort of reintegration and back into school, they've come in a different year group per day. They've had their COVID test, and then they've been straight back in the classroom. So yes, what did appear a few weeks ago as something that did have a scratch in our heads, it's just been incredibly smooth.
And what happens if a pupil tests positive?
So if we get positive tests, then we have a separate area for that student to go, and parents or carers are contacted to pick them up. They then have one of the PCR tests by post for a confirmation, and at that point we still follow our stringent track and trace on site to make sure anybody who that student may have come into contact with on the way to school or whilst they were waiting and having their test, we're able to keep that group of students safe also.
Of course, having done the test in the school, the next stage is for it to happen at the home. Do you have any concerns around that?
No, absolutely not. It's been very clear. We've had the delivery of the home test kits to school. They came on Wednesday. We've got enough for every student to test for the next 3 weeks. So they will be distributed to our students this afternoon to take home, with very clear guidance both from the NHS and also from ourselves on how to test at home, how to report the result of the test, and what to do should there be a positive case.
Excellent. So, end of the first week. Sigh of relief when you close the door tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. And fundamentally, it is just great to have the students back. It is so nice to have us full again and feeling sort of the students have come back energised, as I say, and they're just ready to reconnect with learning and continue on the journey that they've had during the last few months of remote learning.
I'm glad it's gone well, really am. How many positive tests have you had, just out of interest?
Through school, we've only had one. We've only had one case on an in-school lateral flow test. Yep.
Excellent.
And that's every student. So that'll be 3,000 tests. We've had one.
Fantastic. Well, that is good news. All right, yeah. Positive news there. Thanks for joining us this morning, Todd Johnson there from the Skegness Academy. How's it gone at your school? Successful? I think